Hey guys, Josh here with the Weekend Angler. Hope y'all are doing good. Got a question for you, real quick. You ever have one of those days where things just don't go as planned? This video you're watching was supposed to be a fishing video. But Mother Nature has other plans today, so we're going to be doing something different. I've got a brand new product, just hit the market, and I was able to get my hands on it. We're going to be unboxing that thing, taking a look at it, running it through some tests, and see how it will perform. So stick around, I think you're going to enjoy it. Alright guys, like I was saying, in this video we're going to be unboxing a brand new product that just hit the market.
And what we're going to be taking a look at today is the GoldenMate Energy Orion 1000 12-volt 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. Designed primarily as a trolling motor battery, this battery would also be useful in a camper, RV, or solar generator system as well.
But we're going to be looking at it for its usefulness as a trolling motor battery or for use out in your boat. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed, take a look at what they've sent us, and then we're going to start running it through the paces and see how it'll perform.
Alright, let's take a look at what's in the box. Of course, you're going to have your user manual. You'll also have two interface cables that I've been able to find out are supposed to interface with the communication ports on the battery. Unfortunately, not a lot of information about their function. And you do get two tinned copper lugs. As far as weight, an average Group 31 battery weighs around 70 pounds. Let's take a look at what our GoldenMate Energy battery weighs. And that battery is going to come in at 29 pounds, 4.5 ounces, so a weight savings of around 40 pounds. On the top of the battery is a touch-activated display screen. This screen not only displays the current charge level of the battery, it also displays additional information such as the wattage going into the battery when charging, or the wattage being drawn from the battery when it is in use. This battery is also capable of wireless Bluetooth monitoring. In the user manual is a set of QR codes to take you directly to the GoldenMate app, depending on whether you're an Android or Apple user. I use Android and the app installation was simple and straightforward. Once you're in the app, it will scan and detect the battery, and pairing to the battery is as simple as one click. Now once you connect to the battery, you will see a battery status screen just like the one shown. This shows you battery voltage, amperage draw, power draw, battery capacity, and an estimated runtime, as well as the temperature of the battery and whether it's charging or discharging. Now these values update in real time, and this app would be handy if you keep your batteries stowed in a covered battery compartment like most bass boats have.
Alright guys, so far so good. I like the layout of the battery. The app was easy to install, connected without any issues at all. But before we can really do anything and test this battery, we need to get this thing from 81% all the way up to 100%. That way it's a fully charged battery when we start to do our tests. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing put on charge. I'm going to be using a Noco Genius 10 amp charger. Get this thing topped off, and then I'll see you back in just a minute.
Before we can charge the battery, we need to remove the protective covers from the battery studs. Keep these in case you want to reinstall them later. Tightening the battery studs by hand will be fine to get a good connection with the battery charger. The charger connects just like it would with any other battery. The red lead goes to the positive terminal, and the black lead goes to the negative. Remember, lithium batteries require a higher voltage, and you must use a battery charger rated for lithium iron phosphate batteries. The good news is, most modern battery chargers are now capable of handling lithium batteries, and the price on them have become affordable. Taking a look at the battery display screen, the top right corner shows that we are charging, it's receiving an input, and the lower right corner shows how many watts of power are going into the battery at that time. When fully charged, both those values disappear from the screen.
Alright guys, well it took about 2 hours to get us from 81% all the way up to 100, but the charger has now kicked off. The screen on the battery is showing that no more power is going into the battery, and the battery's at 100%. And that means it's time to go ahead with our first performance test. Now what we're going to be doing is using this 100 amp battery load tester. This is a very simple piece of test equipment. You've got a meter on here that will show the idle voltage of the battery. When you flip this switch down at the bottom, it presents a 100 amp load to the battery, and the needle will still show the battery voltage. And what you want is for the needle to remain in this little green section over here. That shows that the battery voltage drop is not too excessive. Now, just for reference and clarification, 100 amps of current is roughly double what any of your 12 volt trolling motors are ever going to pull from this battery. So we're going to be presenting a very large load to the battery for a period of about 10 seconds. We're going to see how this battery holds up.
Alright, we'll connect the load tester just like we would the battery charger, with the red lead going to the positive terminal and the black lead going to the negative. Taking a look at the meter, we can tell that the battery voltage is hovering around 13.6 volts, which indicates a fully charged battery. I did notice a slight dip in the battery voltage at the beginning of the test. Once the test is complete, I'll address what I believe caused that.
Alright, so as you saw, the battery passed the load test without any issues at all. We did see one slight dip at the beginning of the test, and that is probably due to the result of going from a 0 amp load all the way up to 100 in a very short amount of time. But the battery management system inside the battery kicked in, gave us the full 100 amps, and the battery held within the green for the duration of the test, rebounded back up to where it was, up there at 13.6 to 13.8 volts. Now that we're finished with the load test, I'm going to put this battery back on the charger. I don't think it'll take very long at all to reach 100% again, and then we'll be ready for test number 2, and this is the fun one. This is the torture test, the runtime test, however you want to talk about it. And what we do in this one, you guys may have seen this before on my channel, we hook the battery up to a trolling motor, which is how we'll intend to use this lithium iron phosphate battery. We'll hook it up to the meters, and we are going to see how long it will power that trolling motor in a tank of water until the battery management system of the battery reaches low voltage threshold and shuts the battery down. This is going to give us a lot of information about the battery itself, and will tell us how much its capacity is. We'll be able to compare that to what the rated capacity of 100 amp hours is on this battery. So let's go ahead. We're going to have to go outside for this one, get everything set up. Let's put this battery to the test and see how long she'll last.
Alright, if you've watched any of my other battery test videos, you know I usually do this in the shop. What you don't see is after those videos, no matter how hard I try, I always end up getting water all over the floor of the shop. It's a pain in the neck to clean up. We've got the bait tank here not being used at the moment. It's going to make a perfect test tank. We'll drop in the outboard stand, throw a couple bags of rocks on there to keep it from going anywhere. And then we'll get our test motor loaded up onto the outboard stand. For today's test, we're going to be using a 12 volt, 30 pound thrust Minn Kota Endura. In order to give the trolling motor some load as well as keep it from overheating, we'll go ahead and add some water to the bait tank. And we'll do so until the trolling motor prop is completely submerged in water.
Alright, it's about time to start our torture test. Let's talk about the way this test is going to work. What we've got in the tank is a 30-pound Minn transom mount trolling motor. We're going to connect that to this Golden Energy Orion 1000 battery. We're also going to connect a voltmeter to monitor the voltage of the battery, and we're going to use a clamp-on DC ammeter to measure the amount of current in amps being drawn from the battery by the trolling motor. With all of that information, it's going to allow us to perform some calculations at the end of the test and see just how many amp hours this battery is actually packing. So let's go ahead and get everything hooked up. I'll walk you guys through it. I've got all the test equipment, so you don't have to buy it, and you guys get to sit back and see the results of the test.
Alright, as you can see from the display screen, the battery is fully charged. Let's go ahead and start getting it hooked up. We are going to install the lugs that came with the battery simply because they are going to make an excellent connection point for the alligator leads on the voltmeter probes. We are going to want the battery studs fully tightened for the test, and we'll do so with a 13mm wrench. Next, we can go ahead and connect the voltmeter to the battery, and those open terminal lugs provide a good connection point for our alligator test probes. We're using a BK Precision benchtop multimeter for the test. You can see our battery is fully charged at 13.7 volts. The meter will monitor battery voltage from the beginning all the way to BMS cutoff, and the clock is there to allow us to see how long the battery runs before cutting off. We'll use the handheld meter to monitor the amperage being drawn from the battery by the trolling motor. With the trolling motor on speed 3, you can see we're drawing around 10 amps, and that number makes it easy to perform our calculations at the end.
Out of curiosity, we'll take a look at our battery app here. We're seeing our voltage at 13.2. Current, we've got 10.1 amps going out of the battery, 133 watts. Rated energy, 1300 watt hours. Estimated time, endurance time, 9.9 hours, 5 minutes. And it's in a discharging state. So, kind of cool that the app's showing us everything that all the other equipment is. We'll see you guys when it shuts off.
Alright, let's take a look at the test results and see what they tell us. We had a start time of 6:14 p.m. and a BMS voltage cutoff at 5:51 a.m. for a total run time of 11 hours 37 minutes. Average current draw during the test was 10 amps. Using the formula shown, we can calculate amp hours if we multiply current times the discharge time. So by plugging in our known values of 10 amps and 11.617 hours, we see that our 100 amp hour rated battery gave us 116.17 amp hours before BMS cutoff.
Alright guys, well the tests are now complete. The battery seems to have performed well in both of them. I've brought it back in here into the shop, put it on charge. We're going to get that thing back up to 100%. And then we're going to be able to do what I wanted to do when I started this video a couple days ago. Let's go out and do some fishing. So as soon as that battery reaches 100%, we'll take it out, put it in the John boat. We're going to head to the lake, do a little bit of fishing, see how it performs in a real world situation, which, let's face it, it's a trolling motor battery. Let's see how it's going to do out on the water running a trolling motor. So let's get that thing finished charging, and I'll see you guys in just a moment.
All right, different boat today for the test. We'll be using a 1648 John boat. Still using the Motor Guide XI3 trolling motor that you've seen in prior tests.
Oh, you bit it. That's two, but haven't got either one of them in the boat. Started burning a rattle trap. That's all it took.
Alright folks, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of hoping to at least show you one fish during that clip. But the two that I had bite, neither one of them wanted to make it to the boat. They both come unbuttoned before I could get them in. But sometimes that's how it goes. I was out there for 2 or 3 hours. I was on the trolling motor hard. I never fired up the outboard, and I went all the way around that lake trying to find a fish. And when I got the boat back on the trailer, come off the water, checked the battery, was still at 88%. So we had more than enough power. We could have kept fishing while we were out there. But guys, before we close this one out, I wanted to take a moment and thank GoldenMate Energy for sending me this battery to check out. I really do appreciate it. I like being able to put these products through the paces and let you guys take a look at the batteries. That way you can make an informed decision before you spend your hard-earned money. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please take a moment, give it that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, checking me out for the first time, guys, hit that subscribe and that little bell next to it. That way you don't miss any videos coming up. Links to the battery are in the description of the video. Go over, check that out. Check their website out. They've got plenty of information. Questions about anything, leave them down in the comments section for me. I'll do my best to get an answer for you. And that's all I've got for this one. So guys, take care. And until next time, we'll catch you out on the water.